smoked another to the face. Yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake. Yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real. You here been the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Coming with a dank. Skrilling a tank. Rolling with a gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Rats.
What up, though?
We got your Chris in the TV booth, JB Smooth the 1-2s. We're rocking along on a Tuesday. Actually, say it this time.
Yeah. Tuesday is better.
Yeah, Tuesday. It's a lot better to say. Monday. It's a lot better to say too. USFL's coming back to Michigan.
Yes.
Officially.
Yep.
I think it's April.
Panthers!
Yeah, Panthers! Big Panthers guy here.
Panthers guy.
Big Panthers fan. Love them. Since
yesterday.
Yes. We are.
Jeff Fisher.
Promise you, we plan on being there at least one of these games.
Oh, for sure.
Got to be more affordable than Lions tickets, right?
Oh, definitely. If they charge more than $20, I'm not going.
Yeah. And if not, like, truthfully, the plan is to get like a media pass.
That'd be cool.
Thing, you know, at least for like one of us, and the other guy buys a ticket. Then we get lit and make content.
Yeah.
And if we do good content for them, then we just give more tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I mean, come to the Panthers games, hang out with the heavyweights.
We're gonna get
$25 too much.
No.
That's
how much they are?
Yeah, they're $25. All seats
like general admission?
Yeah, all seats are general admission.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah. We can get there early, sit front row.
The beer costs more than that. Probably at Ford Field.
We get down there like 6 a.m.
That's
get nice and toasty, get in, get front row seats.
Yeah.
And chirp Jeff Fisher the whole time.
I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but actually it was Neil bitching about like the USFL thing, or this one's, USFL.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to watch football.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, I don't mind watching football. I really don't. It's not soccer. It's not tennis. And don't get me wrong. I've watched some soccer and I've watched some tennis. Matter of fact, this year's World Cup was the best ever, I've heard, and the best I've personally seen too.
Yeah.
So obviously it would make sense.
Final was very good.
Yeah, you got Messi versus freaking Mbappe going back to back. Like, they're the ones scoring the goals too. Like, that's insane. You can't write that stuff. But football is king for a reason.
Football is king. Even bad football. I don't know. Well, it hasn't been proven that bad football is king because these leagues always go bankrupt.
That is fair. It's tough to pay that many people though. You know what I'm saying?
When's their season?
April 12th apparently. JB, you got the schedule pulled up, no? Or just the ticket prices?
Just the ticket prices, but I can take a look at the schedule though.
And they're playing in Ford Field.
Yep.
So, dude, I'm down. I'm down.
Why not?
I'm ready to get sloshed and go watch some Panthers.
Yeah.
What if they play on like a Tuesday afternoon?
I'm still down to we get sloshed on Tuesday afternoons anyway.
Live broadcast from a Panthers game.
Yeah. Tuesday afternoon would be bad. That's probably the reason why they're going bankrupt. If they're playing games on Tuesday
Hopefully
afternoons.
they're playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Sunday.
I think it was Saturday and Sundays last year, wasn't it?
I don't know. Didn't watch any.
I do know.
Didn't watch a single game.
They had the first overall pick, and they went with
Connor Cook.
No, the Michigan kid. He was he wasn't even good when he was at Michigan.
Yeah. Fuck.
Whatever his name is, he sucked.
Yeah, he's the transfer from Ole Miss that played at Michigan.
Yeah, we're gonna get drunk.
Someone called.
We're gonna have a good time. All right, remember that place. We're gonna miss the Panthers just for memories from hanging out with the boys, and that's what's gonna make it all worth it.
Panthers.
We're gonna bring Lucas's ugly, transparent ass with us too.
Yeah, Twilight looking ass.
Twilight looking ass. Yeah. 11 looking ass.
11 looking ass.
Freaking Toledo's #1 meth dealer looking ass.
Shea Patterson says
yes.
Alex Merrill in the Woodward Sports.
Shout out to Alex Merrill helping us out with that one.
That dude's a bum, but
absolutely.
He got benched.
He's not even a team anymore.
Oh, April 30th. That is the starting home date. I know they have 2 away games.
What day is that? Or is like a Sunday?
Let's see.
You know what's crazy? If I was, this is the one part I don't get.
Sunday. Oh,
that's a Sunday.
And maybe it costs too much money, but like, why not sign up Terrell Owens?
It costs too much money.
Yeah, that's the answer.
100%. I wonder what their salaries are.
That's a good question too. I bet we could play, or you could.
I'm about to go try out.
Yeah.
Try out for the Panthers.
The Panthers.
Hey, man. I mean, all-county defensive tackle, all-county offensive tackle.
I know.
Go make some noise.
They'll put you at like left guard or something.
I could have played in college, but I didn't. I wanted to go to MSU right away, but then
Want to do too many drugs?
my guy never sent my transcripts anywhere.
What?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
For real? That's why?
Because my counselor was...
Is that your excuse that you told your mom?
No, my counselor was pregnant during the time, and so we had like a guy fill in.
Hell yeah.
And
Stuffed.
he didn't send my transcripts anywhere. I applied for Michigan, MSU, Eastern,
She was
and
fuck.
Central.
Yeah.
Chill. That's my girl.
Nah, somebody's girl, not yours.
Yeah, not yours.
I
She
know.
invited
Daddy.
me to come kayak with her at her house.
Sure she did.
Panthers.
Someone else was swimming
She's like,
in
yeah,
that.
this kid at my school said he'd sit and watch.
I mean, she's got a husband and
Exactly.
children.
Speaking of Alex's, Alex Pereira
Dude,
might step up and fight.
Jamal.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Jamal, man.
You feel
Honestly.
bad. Jamal's a badass.
Jamal is badass, but Alex Pereira is a scary motherfucker. When he
is
walked
scary.
out to Shara, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy is not a middleweight. Like,
Yeah.
how is this guy a middleweight right now? He's bigger than Glover.
There's that video. I probably should grab a screenshot from it, but it's it's Jamal coming up and dapping up his team, and obviously Pereira was in. If you guys don't know, I apologize for anyone who doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. I apologize for also dropping an F-bomb there, but we're talking UFC. Jamal Hill's the new light heavyweight champion of
Shout
the
out.
UFC. He's
Grand Rapids
Zone, and he won the title this weekend. The guy he beat was Glover Teixeira.
He beat the shit out of him.
Who's a UFC legend, has been in the UFC for a very long time. He also corners other fighters because he's an OG like that. And one of his fighters is Alex Pereira. He's an indigenous Brazilian.
And he is the middleweight champion of the world.
Yes. And he is huge.
He's a giant human being. It does not make sense that he is a middleweight.
0 sense.
He looks more like a heavyweight. Like, the guy is
Yeah.
gigantic.
So Jamal, either way, Jamal goes to dap him up after the fight. And Alex is sizing him up.
Yeah.
And then it's also crazy because Jamal's, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah.
And Alex is looking down, bro, you're a middleweight and you're looking down on the light heavyweight champion?
Yes.
Because it wasn't like a good fight. It was it was for
He sized him up.
Yeah,
For sure. It was scared, it was scary. Because, and then he called him out because Yuri, the former light heavyweight champion, called
Yes.
out Jamal. I'm coming. It was
yeah.
somebody cut that, but it was pretty wild. And Jamal clapped back to him, and then Pereira was in the comments saying, "I heard Yuri's hurt. Why don't you try to knock me out?"
Yeah.
And that's Glover's in his corner. That's his boy, so obviously he feels he slighted Big Bro.
Yeah. Well, Jamal also said that in an interview. It was before he fought Glover, but somebody mentioned Pereira possibly moving up because he is so huge.
Yeah.
Especially for just middleweight.
Yeah, there's no way he could stay at middleweight.
And here's one thing too. People say fighters are ducking certain fighters. I don't necessarily ever believe that's the case. It takes a certain type of human to get in a cage in your underwear and fight another human being.
Yes, it
Try to
does.
render them unconscious. So they're not scared to fight each other. I think more so it's politics and money and stuff like that. But Jamal said what a fighter would say, and he was asked the question if Pereira moved up. I'm gonna knock his ass out because that's what they say. That's what fighters do.
That's what Jamal does. He knocks
Exactly.
people out.
Exactly. Listen, Alex Pereira,
He's a problem.
he is a problem.
He is an absolute problem.
Yes.
I love Jamal. Was extremely happy when I saw him win that fight again, dominate Glover Teixeira
Yes.
for 25 minutes, beat the piss out of the guy. But man, Alex is a different beast, man. He knocked out Eazy twice,
Yeah.
and
And Eazy, if you don't know, was one of the most glorified,
probably one of the best strikers in the history of the UFC.
yeah. And kickboxing, Alex Pereira knocked him out first.
Yep.
He has the ultimate evil villain arc too.
Yeah. Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
he knocked out Izzy in kickboxing. He's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go do MMA. Becomes a champion in MMA. Never lost at middleweight.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT, not the GOAT, but he's his name's being mentioned amongst them at certain points. And here comes Alex Pereira. Just fucking joins MMA.
Knocked the hell out of Sean Strickland, which was funny.
That
I
was
hate
funny.
Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
And then Izzy was winning that fight.
Izzy was definitely winning that fight. Yeah.
But
Pereira's got the
Pereira's
stone
got the hands, bro. He caught him, and
So that's what I was gonna
felt
say.
bad
though.
for Izzy.
The reason I'm not nervous for Jamal or as nervous for Jamal. Obviously, Pereira's a dangerous human being, but Jamal's dangerous too.
Jamal's dangerous too.
They both got that one touch, lights out.
Yeah.
And just whoever connects first.
And Jamal's bigger, so obviously he could take a little bit more punishment.
Yeah, and I think Jamal's probably got I could be totally wrong on this, but I feel like Jamal's got a better like grappling pedigree.
He looked good against
Glover.
He did very well, not only stopping takedowns but transitioning on the mat and doing different things. It was impressive because you don't really see that out of him very much, obviously, because he just knocks people the fuck out. But
and then even Pereira, when he fought Izzy took him down.
Yeah.
When you ever see Izzy do that?
Izzy
ever?
doesn't take nobody down.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to disrespect Izzy because again, he is great.
One of the GOATs.
Yeah. But Izzy doesn't do that. It's not like, maybe that's why he got away with it. But like, I feel like Jamal's got something in him. I mean, I've grabbed with a few people Jamal tossing there, and they're beasts. Yeah. They beat my ass.
Yeah, hell yeah, I bet. Jamal is a scary human being for sure, but so is Alex Pereira. I'd be really excited to see because I think Jamal beats Yuri.
Yes.
I think Jamal beats Yuri for sure.
Yeah. Especially looking back on how the Yuri-Glover fight went.
Yeah, Yuri and Glover
was a little bit of MMA
real
but
close,
still.
and Jamal whooped Glover's ass.
Yeah.
But Pereira, man, that's the fight I want to see.
I know. It's crazy, too, because, I mean, the original topic on the paper for this one was, what would you rather see, Maul versus Pereira or Maul versus Yuri? But clearly it's Maul versus Pereira.
Maul versus Pereira is the fight. That's the fight everybody wants to see.
So I got to ask then, because, I'm definitely, sold, and I want to see this, too. What would you rather see between... Because Pereira also has, options on the table for him, too.
Yeah.
He's got the rematch with Izzy that he could wait for. That'd be a big money fight. Or you move up and fight Maul.
I think he wants to fight Maul, because...
Yeah,
he saw him do big bro like that.
Yeah,
you could see he was pissed.
You see that video of DC grappling him in the elevator?
Yeah,
and he said whatever in Portuguese. And he's like, "Huh? What do you say?"
Dude, I mean, you see an idol of yours, a big brother figure, father figure, get demolished like that in his home country,
like your counselor did when she got pregnant.
Just chill, bro. It's something that probably sticks with you for a while.
Like a kid, like your counselor.
Chill, bro. Jesus Christ, man. You're the one banging your cousin, all right?
Damn.
And we got... I'm scared.
That was nasty, Spencer. That was nasty.
That's fucked up. She's not my cousin, man.
That's nasty.
My mom's sister. She's not my cousin. But
all that for your fucking counsel that didn't see your transcripts.
Hey, no, it wasn't her fault. Right? She wasn't there. But you look at Jamal and
simp.
It's I wouldn't simp for her counselor.
Does she watch the show?
She's gorgeous. She might.
I want to see her now.
I'll show you later. But she, Jamal, I don't know. He's got choices now. His first title defense is going to be against a former champion or a current champion.
Yeah,
which is pretty wild when you think about it.
I think he's only 5 fights into the UFC. That's the other insane part about it. This dude's only been in the UFC.
Yeah,
I think he fought. I'll pull it up on SureDog to be exact, but JB, I know you partake a little bit in cousin fucking, and I'm just kidding. No, but I know you watch UFC. I gotta know, what would you rather see between the two, Maul versus Yuri, or actually no, F that. We'd rather see Yuri versus Maul versus Pereira, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so would you rather see Pereira versus Maul or Pereira versus Izzy?
Probably Izzy.
Yeah.
You think that's going to happen first?
It could,
I feel like it's disrespectful if it doesn't to Izzy.
It is disrespectful to Izzy, but also Izzy's pacing himself in this one, he's doing it on his time.
Yeah.
You know how he is. He's real.
I feel like you got to give Izzy the next crack at him though.
Yeah. Your counselor.
Like your cousin. I just I don't know, man. She's a great counselor. I just think that, are they really going to give Pereira a shot at champ, 6 fights into his UFC career?
We want to see it.
Yeah.
We're the consumer.
That's true.
If we're going to pay for it, you know how
nobody wants to see that power slap shit, and they're still putting that out there.
Yeah, I know. That's a whole nother.
What about Cejudo versus Sterling?
Yeah, you said something about Cejudo being...
Cejudo's the underdog.
That's a thing?
Open as the underdog.
That's a thing. It's a real thing.
Plus 100, yeah.
Cejudo versus Sterling is happening.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Pretty sure. I think it was Heavyweight Thanos posted it.
All right. We'll have to look into that one. Tell us about Matrix. Is that when we come back?
Well, if you're Spencer's counselor and you're adding to your family, you're
drunk?
just getting knocked up. You might need some remodeling in your house, to create addition for the new family. Matrix is your place for that. They are the go-to for any home project. A new man cave, maybe again, another room because you're added to a family like Spencer's counselor. They are the basement remodel experts. They also specialize in bathrooms and kitchens. An A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Call 888-594-8844 or go to matrixhomesolutions.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood.
That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com.
What up, though?
I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spinmo Rex.
Hello.
We got young Chris in the TD move.
It's really Spencer's counselor.
JB Smooth Loves Twos, a.k.a. Black Rick.
Rick, or what did he call him? Rick and Morty James?
Yeah, what
Rick James and Morty?
Rick James and Morty.
Rick James and Morty.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That was pretty funny. That was a good one. I noticed you saw the comment and didn't react to it.
I did.
Did you?
I laughed reacted at it.
Oh, I was giving you shit.
Why are you creeping on me?
It's my Facebook. You're creeping on me, if anything.
You tagged me in the picture.
Through. I'm saying, you slide through and you don't hit the like button. You
I did. Yeah, that is true, though.
Support your friends.
You slide through and you don't like. Your mom's a hoe.
Your mom is a hoe.
Whoever threw that piece of paper, your mom's a hoe.
We wanted to talk about this yesterday. We kind of put it on the back burner a little bit because we felt as if there wasn't too much like validity to it, and it was the Jalen Ramsey trade rumors. And it came from, you actually the one that brought it up to me, is NFL Rumors or Twitter page?
Yeah, NFL Rumors posted that the Lions are amongst 4 other teams that will be looking at Jalen Ramsey, see what's going on in that situation, what it might cost. And then Twitter took it off and went crazy.
And grew some legs.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about it now. I mean, and Braylon, actually, kudos to him. He prophesized this one almost 2 weeks ago.
A while ago.
And initially I said no. I was looking at the contract and I was like, that's a lot of money to be paying him. I mean, the first year, as you guys know, when you get somebody traded to you, you get them a bit of a discount because the other team's stuck paying their signing bonus. Mm-hmm. And which should still be the case, obviously, with Jalen Ramsey. But there was I don't know if this one specifically to the NFL Rumors one, but it was Jalen Ramsey, Bobby Wagner, and a 5th-round pick. This actually definitely wasn't real.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
For pick 18?
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it,
It was like,
right?
who says no? Like, the Rams say no.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no chance in hell that shit happens.
But now that the Jalen Ramsey thing's grown some legs and it's stuck in my craw, I've been thinking about it for a minute.
It's stuck in my craw.
I kind of...
Stuck in my cousin's craw.
I kind of don't hate it.
$25 million in 2023. $26.7 million in 2024.
Yeah.
You don't hate that?
Well, 2023. Like this year, 2023?
Yeah.
We'll get them that discount. Hold on, I got OTC pulled up right now.
The cap hit. That's the cap hit.
No.
$25 million.
No, I got you. Hold on.
I found it on OTC.
Trade pre-June, $5 million.
For the cap hit?
$600 would be his cap hit for 2023.
What about the next year?
Next year,
26
then
million?
you look at 26. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
And then you look at 22.
I'm good.
Which again, I'm a big 12% guy when it comes to quarterback position. To put that in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, it's 11.2%.
Yes.
Not 12
for a
not
cornerback.
12 for a cornerback. Although, if you truly feel like you're competing, that would be again this next year. That's a move maybe you make. Oh man, you just talked me out of it.
Yeah, I talked to it a little bit on BDE, and
you talked to it.
I talked to it. I was thinking I was, treating it nice, showing it a good time, talking to it. Be like, yeah, you're a trade package, but it's we know you little trade package. We talk you little trade package. You naughty little trade package. But we talked to it. We talked about it on BD. Naughty little trade package. And I was talking about how if you're a contender for a Super Bowl, you do something like this.
Yeah.
Like the 49ers did with Christian McCaffrey. Like the Eagles did with a lot of their guys.
Yeah.
You're a player away. You're right on the cusp. You want to make that move to bring in a guy. What, dude? Cusp? Is it because I said cusp?
I just thought naughty little trade
Naughty
package.
little trade package. But you're right on the edge of a Super Bowl. You make a move like this. Unfortunately, the Lions are not in that venue yet. The Lions are not there yet.
Yeah.
They'll be in a van down by the river. It's not a trade that the Lions would make yet. They still have, as we spoke to yesterday, multiple holes to fill on this defense. They still have multiple positions they need to target and make sure that they have legitimate players in those positions rather than go after a guy like Jalen Ramsey who bogs down your salary cap after 1 year. Jalen Ramsey's a great talent. He's a great player. He would be a X factor for a Super Bowl contender. Unfortunately, the Lions are not a Super Bowl contender yet. They still need other moves to be made before they go after a piece like that. Doing something like that, like I said, is telling me that you think you're winning a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to hope for the Lions next year, I think they're going to be
Jared
great.
Goff's quarterback. I'm joking.
I think they're going to have a great season. I think they're going to get better. I'm not going to say I think the Lions are winning a Super Bowl next year. They still need pieces on that defense. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey would be a piece. But would you rather pay Jalen Ramsey $27 million next year or 2 years from now, or have a cornerback on a rookie deal you can have for 5 years?
Which, I mean, you still could do both, but you talked me off the ledge. I'm not that big of a fan of it. But there is somebody within this room that does believe the Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl next year. His name's Black Rick.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
When the Detroit Lions brought back Ben Johnson, you came through all happy. I'm Black Rick!
Yep.
And you said they're going to win the NFC next year, meaning that they'd be going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
You said you woke up feeling dangerous the previous day. I'm sorry, next day. Would you want to make this trade?
And do you still believe in that?
One, yes, I still believe in that. Two, I'm not making this trade. I don't care.
Ooh.
I said this earlier on BDE.
Why is it spicy?
Jalen Ramsey is in a slump. He is not the Jalen Ramsey of old.
He looked pretty damn good against
He's still damn
the
He
Seahawks.
looked good against the Seahawks, but come on, let's be real. The whole season, he was in a funk right there, and I don't think trading away that first pick is enough value for Jalen Ramsey to get the old Jalen Ramsey that you want to see out there. I give it to him. He's talented. He is talented as all hell as a corner, but I just can't do it. There's so much talent in the draft that I would like to see Brad Holmes take a chance on rather than jump to this guy.
There's a lot of good cornerbacks in this draft.
I was just going to put out a comment by Joey 2 times in Woodward Sports chat. He says, this is unbelievably cornerback-heavy draft.
Yes.
This is the worst time to trade away a high-value pick for an aging, overpriced, disgruntled cornerback.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't really see him as disgruntled. I think he just, he's got that,
He's got that itch.
Yeah.
He's got that folga.
He got that fold. You know what I'm saying? He's got that attitude to him.
Itch, like Spenny after MSU game.
Willow is going around.
Folga's going around.
Folga's going around. But JB, his career high pass deflections this year, 18. Back-to-back years, 4 interceptions. I think at the 10th, he's targeted 10th most this year. Only allowed the 9th fewest receptions on that. It's pretty damn impressive. I mean, Jalen's still playing like very high, despite what the Rams' record may suggest.
It's still impressive, but yet still, I don't think you want a diva to come to Detroit. That's the whole thing. I feel like he's got on that line of that Odell type, you know. So
I like diva cornerbacks, though.
I do too.
I don't care for diva cornerbacks.
I feel like they call them diva cornerbacks, sure, but like really they're just like the trash talking ones. But the trash talking ones are the best ones. Mm-hmm. Those are the best corners.
That's you have to be a trash talker if you're a cornerback.
Seriously.
And you got to have a hamster's memory. Like play by play. You take it one play at a time.
I'm not familiar with the hamster's memory, but
they're not good. Goldfish's memory.
He's like, I tell you, but I don't remember.
Yeah, that works for me. What are you thinking, Chris?
I like making those kinds of moves if you're there, but I just don't think the Lions are there. So I'm with you guys. I liked him. I mean, he looked incredible in that Seattle game. I'm not gonna lie.
He was flying around.
Not gonna lie. He looked incredible there.
He was everywhere.
But
like that Asian woman in the movie Everywhere and Everything at Once. That was Jalen Ramsey in the Seahawks game.
He was everything and everywhere at once for sure. Yeah. Did you have more to say, Chris?
No, just that's it. I wouldn't do it. It's too much. Maybe next year I'd look at it a deal like that.
Maybe next year you look at something like not Jalen Ramsey per se, but a trade like that where you're getting that X factor, you're getting that missing piece to bring to a team that's ready to contend, ready for that window. But right now the Lions are not in that position, and Jalen Ramsey is he's still Jalen Ramsey. He's still fantastic. But with that amount of money,
28 years old,
he's aging. And we talked about, dude, that's like 4 in the past 3 days. But we talked about the draft class of cornerbacks, and that's the biggest thing for me is like, who's saying Witherspoon's not the next Ramsey? Who's saying obviously that's a high bar to set, or a high bar to set. Mm-hmm. But still, those guys look that they can be the real deal, and we see these young corners coming into the NFL and being impact players over the past couple seasons.
Show me you can be good in the playoffs first, and then I'll make a move like that.
Yes,
that's fair. Because it's a big financial commitment. It really is. I mean, it's $25 million. That's a lot of money. But what if and again, I'm on your side with it now too. I'm not a big fan of it, but the stuff that does make me seem to like it, and I can guarantee that this is like a for sure thing that Jalen excels in that category, but is a mentorship for that young cornerback that you're talking about bringing in, because you may not have to do it in the first round, but this, as Joey 2 times said, as you and I have alluded to in the past, a cornerback heavy draft. Actually, you were telling me this yesterday, and it's like, okay, so say we do get that like second round prospect guy. I mean, you'd love to have a Jalen Ramsey there to show him the ropes, but I guess you don't have to.
I'm not paying $26 million for him to teach somebody though.
He's also balling too.
He is balling too.
He's balling and teaching another guy to ball.
That's a lot.
And teaching a crew to ball.
That's not it for me.
It's because he's Asian, huh?
I love Jalen Ramsey. I love him as a player. I remember watching when he got drafted.
I love Jalen.
Him and Derwin James were walking around the like draft party or whatever you want to call it with all the prospects.
Yeah.
And he was talking
shut you down.
Yeah, he's like, I locked you down. I already locked you down. I'm gonna shut you. I was like, dude, I want that kid.
Yeah.
Pause. But it's a big pause. Don't cut that. But it was very impressive. And his career so far has been extremely impressive. So we'll see. I just don't think I don't think it's in the cards for the Lions.
I don't know what next ad read is, but
it's Guardian Alarm because it's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. Their 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So all you have to do is call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT right now and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
I didn't know you could do that, JB.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Don't be fat.
Don't be fat.
And you can with the help of Custom Health Centers. You can don't be fat with the help of Custom Health Centers. You see Ryan Ermanni, he went from Corey Spaghetti to Corey Maggette. But in all seriousness, Ryan has enlisted the help of Custom Health Centers and is down upwards of 15 pounds. You can do the same. All you have to do is call them at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446. Call Custom Health Centers today and let them help you reach your ideal weight.
I guess Todd Walsh was the defensive coordinator back in Jacksonville, too.
Yeah.
When they were Saxonville.
Really?
Isn't that crazy? I think our defense would be better, but maybe he just... They had a lot of names on there, too.
They had a lot of names.
Dante Fowler.
Yeah. Yannick
Jalen
Ngakoue.
Ramsey. Yannick Ngakoue. Yeah. That was a nice little squad.
they
did. Yeah, they're a nice little team. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spinmo Rax.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TV booth. JB Smooth, a.k.a. Black Rick on the ones and twos.
Spencer's counselor.
Gotta get him a new name.
Like Spencer's counselor.
I apologize about that. What were you going to say?
I was just saying, gotta change his nameplate to Black Rick.
How do you feel about that?
I don't mind it.
Are you cool with being Black Rick?
Yeah. JB Smooth / Black Rick.
So, there's my friends growing up, there's this one kid named Steve. Well, there's actually 2 kids named Steve.
Okay.
And one of them was black, so they called him Black Steve.
Yeah.
And like one of their dads heard him calling him Black Steve, and he's like, "You can't call him that."
That's why I was like, is JB cool being Black Rick?
Like, you can't do that. So they started calling him Rainbow Steve instead.
Oh, Dad ruined it.
Yeah.
How did Rainbow Steve feel about being Rainbow Steve?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know the kid, but they told me that story before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
There was
Rainbows.
at my one job, and it was not necessarily a diverse job, so this didn't go over too well. But there was one guy named Kevin who was black, and we called him Black Kevin. There's no other Kevin on the staff, but they just called him Black Kevin.
Yeah, see, you can't do that.
I was like, that's so messed up.
That is actually just weird.
That's not even good.
Now I want to go to a place. I'll never eat there again.
It wasn't a restaurant.
What is it?
It was like a boat arena.
Oh, that's even worse.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
That sounds about right, if you ask me, bro. All right, so no to Jalen Ramsey. There's another name in there. I feel like I'm just gonna get out the way. I feel it's a no too, but Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, no.
No. But no to Bobby Wagner.
Depends what you can get for. If you can get him for cheap, yeah. I love Bobby.
Yeah, I love Bobby. Actually, Bobby got a crazy deal too, don't he?
No, I don't think he got paid that much.
Yeah, he probably got a little discount one.
What you thinking? Late second, third round pick?
No, I wouldn't do that either.
What a life for him, right? To be a Seattle Seahawk, tanking there. You jump ship to the Rams to think you're gonna,
They cut it.
get another Super Bowl. Oh yeah, they did.
It's messed up.
Yeah, you're right. Bobby Wagner's deal. That's not that bad. $12 million.
Yeah.
$5 million if you made a trade for him.
I wouldn't mind that, but depends what you're giving up. Bobby Wagner he's still very good, but he's also very old.
I don't know how to access the play of linebacker other than like watching with my eyes.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a true stat.
I watched a lot of Bobby Wagner. He's still that dude.
Yeah.
He's still Bobby.
He had some moments. I do remember him though getting stiff-armed by Josh Allen.
Well, he got Supermaned by Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Do you feel like a little bit of his, coming back to earth was like the elbow injury?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad. And I don't know if they're going to see Super
Their window
Bowl
might be
again.
closed.
Yeah, their window might be closed. Like this might
He's
be
about to
the
make a
year.
lot of money. They still don't have a running back.
Von Miller got hurt this year too.
Von Miller's out, yeah.
Rough.
Do you guys really think it's over for those quarterbacks that I know Eazy your 12% rule, but like, I mean, at points in this year, Spencer, you were saying that Josh Allen might be as good as Mahomes. Like, is it just he fell off, or is or is it possible that we're just never going to see these quarterbacks really, outside of a very rare occasion, win?
He's like, yeah, Spencer, you didn't wash your hands and you came out of the bathroom.
Yeah, Spencer, I saw you with your cousin. No, but it definitely takes a hit when you look at guys and they can't afford the team around them. Yeah, they're never going to be equally to what they are. Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly because their defense is better, their offensive line is better, and Patrick Mahomes is making stupid cheddar.
Bitches
bars.
Car better than yours.
Better ingredients, better pizza, my clothes better, my shoes better. But it's tough when you look at that, when you allocate that much money. That you look at what happened with the Green Bay Packers. You look at what happened with other teams like that. That's just the reality of it. It is the ultimate team sport for a reason. So we'll see. Josh Allen definitely has the talent to be able to get him back there, but if he couldn't get over the hump these past couple years, there's not much that alludes to me that he can do it more underhanded, with less help.
Yes, it's not that I think like it's all doom and gloom for him at that point. When we start making that much bread, they're still like that phenomenal player. They're still going to perform well. But now more than ever, in the salary cap era, it is a team sport, and the numbers suggest that when you go down the line of those Super Bowl quarterbacks. So like you'll see, a highly paid guy make it there into the playoffs. You'll see maybe a highly paid guy make it into the Super Bowl. But if he's going up against a team that's built all around to be like just a team, it's not going to work. Peyton Manning paid tons of money to be in Denver, and he had the most explosive offense up until I think that is actually still to this day the most explosive offense. Yeah, probably going to change now of 17-game season. Go against a rookie Russell Wilson and a legion of boom
dogs on defense,
and they dog walked him
from the first snap.
Yeah.
From literally the first snap.
Safety, right?
It went over his head. Yeah, the ball snapped over his head, went in the back of the end zone. That defense was so fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it's just I think teams are learning that now too. It's so much to the point, and I just want to shout out to James McIntyre of Fox Sports. He's on the Herd with Colin Cowherd, and he actually I don't know if you've seen, he actually deemed us in the heavyweight inbox on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
This is in the summer. I asked him to come on the show because he said something crazy about he was saying Jimmy G over Goff, and I was saying Goff at that point. Or he's saying the Lions should trade for Jimmy G. Well, he on the Cowherd yesterday made the rookie quarterback argument, and he said what turned him on to it, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Which makes me think Sean Payton's not going to be in Denver. Yeah. I don't know if we see Sean Payton return to coaching this year.
I mean, Carolina filled their position with Frank Wright.
Yeah.
So he's not going there. That was rumored. I think he's waiting for Dallas, man.
I think he is too.
Or
Dallas,
the Chargers.
or I heard he's waiting for like one of the LA teams because he's staying out in LA right now. But speaking of people trading places, Nathaniel Hackett, the guy who was formerly in Denver, actually somehow, we'll make sense of it. But he got the offensive coordinator job for the Jets.
Yes.
After having the league's worst offense with the Broncos.
Rodgers.
Yeah, but is that our Aaron Rodgers play?
That is definitely 1,000% an Aaron Rodgers play. You hired that guy, bring him over. He is the guy that was the offensive coordinator for 2 of Aaron Rodgers' MVP seasons in Green Bay. So obviously he's a solid offensive coordinator, but that is what you do when you want to. You bring in a guy's friend, you bring in a guy the guy likes, and we already heard the Green Bay GM say they're not trading Aaron Rodgers to anybody in the NFC.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be an AFC team. The Jets are what looks like a quarterback away from being legitimate contenders. And, Brett Favre left the Packers to go to the Jets. So maybe Aaron Rodgers does the same thing.
What does that mean for the Lions?
Brett Favre went to the Jets.
That's facts.
Aaron Rodgers filled in for Brett Favre. No, it's it's important when you think about it that Jordan Love would be their option if Aaron Rodgers leaves, and we haven't seen much out of Jordan Love. We've seen him in spurts. So that might be another factor of the Lions gaining ground on the North for a long time because they have a more ready-built roster. They have a more ready-built team than the Packers would with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And maybe other players start to leave the Packers if Aaron Rodgers leaves. Maybe other players don't want to sit through a rebuild or sit through a quarterback carousel. And you'll have to look at it that way, but I just think that that Nathaniel Hackett signing means that the Jets are going all out to try to get A-Rod.
It's crazy too because you had already. So JB claimed Super Bowl, which you had the craziest one. I still love you. That was definitely by far the craziest one. And then you claimed you put the stamp Detroit Lions win the NFC North.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers leaves. That is the one team I was afraid of. And again, I don't care. Everybody can call me whatever you want. I know everybody has their biases against Aaron Rodgers. Our boy Stick's one of them too. But
he's still a dog. He's still Aaron Rodgers.
Back-to-back MVP seasons.
Yeah.
Right? And then this year, broken thumb. No chemistry. Partly his fault, yes,
Definitely
because he wasn't in the offseason. But, like, it grew as the season went along.
It was growing.
Yeah.
Pause.
And it was looking kind of scary. So I was afraid of that to return, them to have another draft class alongside that and whatever else, pair along with them. But if he's leaving the NFC North,
no matter what it is, you're taking a step back if you're going from Aaron Rodgers to another quarterback.
Yeah.
Chemistry-wise, skill-wise, play-style-wise.
Culture.
Folga. And it's important to look at that because, the Aaron Rodgers-led Packers are always going to be one of the favorites to win the NFC North. Even over the Lions, even over the Vikings. No matter what, if Aaron Rodgers is there, you got a good shot at winning the division.
Yeah.
So if he leaves, if he truly does leave, whether it's to New York or another team in the AFC, it sets the Packers back. And that just opens the window even more for the Lions to go after that NFC North crown.
Well, speaking of the Detroit Lions winning the NFC North crown, they did a lot of it through drafting. And we have a draft expert coming on to talk to us next. Russell Brown will be joining the show. I want him to rank our defensive tackles. And somebody, I forgot who it was in the Woodward Sports chat. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button while you're there too. But they asked us to name some late round QBs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna wait till I got Russ on for that one. And we got Russ coming on next, but not before you tell us about Big Boy Spinning.
I will, because wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. What about breakfast? Their stuffed potato pancakes are back. They have the Lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today and satisfy those taste buds.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
When it comes to making your then Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
You don't have to go
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. They got all the best deals where they beat all competitors by $5. $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swiss Beauty Lotions. All great ideas. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spinmo Rex.
Hello.
We've got young Chris joining the show. We got JB Smooth, not joining the show. You've been here, Chris, and JB's been here. But who we do have joining the show is
young Chris joining the show.
NFL draft expert Russell Brown. My God.
Stop, fellas.
Oh snap! We can't hear you.
Oh,
what's going on? What'd you do, Chris? Fix it.
It should be good.
We good now?
Go ahead, Chuck.
There we go.
Now we're good.
The mic wasn't plugged in.
Okay. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, man. Come on.
It's hard when you're not in the studio.
It is. How far do you stay from here?
Like 30 minutes.
Man, you don't. No, I'm playing.
I know, I'm a
Russ, I brag on you all the time, and I know you ranked last year your mock draft. Didn't it rank like top 10 and something? What was the exact number? Just so I could sound correct when I'm saying this. That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog right there. I know that guy.
Yeah. Hey, he's my friend.
All right, Russ. So last week we had someone in the Woodward Sports chat. They hit us with a question they wanted to ask about late round quarterbacks. And, you know, Spenny and I were like,
Clayton Tune.
Yeah, he said Tune, and I was like, that's. I didn't really have, much to say, but I know you did. And I know what the Senior Bowl's coming up next week, too, if I'm not mistaken. Lay it on us. What's some late-round quarterbacks that the fans can look forward to?
Well, we'll start at BYU, Jaron Hall, the 6'1", 200-pound quarterback that replaced Zach Wilson. You watch him play from time to time, you kind of get a similar vibe to him. He does kind of have a big arm. The ball simply flicks, out of his hand. He's got really good mobility, and he didn't play with a whole lot of talent. So I think there's going to be a lot of NFL teams that are intrigued by him. He's going to be at the Senior Bowl. They're going to get an opportunity to talk with him and understand what type of player he really is. So I think he is somebody that can step into a room, learn a system, and at some point in time maybe get an opportunity to start at the next level. He's going to need more time and consistency with timing and his overall accuracy. He likes to chuck it, like I said, so there's times he takes unnecessary shots, but he is going to be an older prospect too, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of players, when you look at the quarterback spot, you want them at 20, 21 years of age. Him and Hendon Hooker, these are going to be guys that are 25, 26 years of age in the NFL as a rookie. So I don't know if that's going to make teams kind of push him to the side until way later. But if they end up kind of looking for a different type of player, Clayton Tune, as you guys mentioned, is definitely that guy out of Houston. 6'3", 215. He looks like a prototypical quarterback. Like, he looks like, almost at times, like when he throws the football, he kind of like looks like Daniel Jones, but without all the mobility and stuff like that and all the accolades that he got at Duke. He just plays for a super small school at Houston, was doing some really good things, but kind of took a year down this year as far as overall play. I think arm strength might be in question at times. I thought there were times that, he would unleash on a 50 or 60-yard pass and it was a little bit underthrown. So I think ball placement in certain areas could definitely be a thing. But Clayton Tune, Jaron Hall are definitely my guys. And I will say this, Max Duggan from TCU, I would roll the dice on this kid. 6'2", 215, he's a winner. He's done really good things the last 2 years. And he's kind of that plus-size, dual-threat quarterback that fits today's game. And maybe he's the next Taysom Hill or something like that. But that doesn't mean your locker room can't have a guy like that. So if you've got a veteran quarterback that you're looking to maybe bring in and you're trying to develop, and you want to develop your team in other areas and you feel like there's a rookie that you could bring in and potentially develop, I think Max Duggan could be that guy, also a Senior Bowl guy. So we'll get to kind of meet with him a little bit next week, and I'll get to kind of pick his brain. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, definitely. I like some of those names. Obviously, Max Duggan was a big target. You saw what he did in the college football playoff. That really turned people on to him. Pause. But another guy that people have been talking about a lot, that people at Woodward here have been talking about, is UCLA's Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Obviously, we saw his whole skill set at display in that battle against USC. That was one of the best college football games I watched all year. They were just going back and forth. He was doing it injured, still playing well. Where do you think he falls in the NFL draft? Because I think some people are thinking, you can get him in the 5th, 6th round. Like, I don't think that. But he's definitely not going to be a first-round pick in my mind. Where do you think he slots in the NFL draft?
Yeah, he won't be a first-round pick. I mean, I think that 4th and 5th round could really be his sweet spot. It just ultimately depends on, where he lands in the combine and how he tests and how all of this draft, season goes for him. And he has a really nice arm as far as being able to work all 3 levels of the field. I think the further downfield he goes, the more inaccurate he becomes. As we talk about, with Clayton Tune as far as arm strength, I think there's times when, Dorian's arm strength gets a little bit tested and he underwhelms a little bit. But when you look at mobility, he is somebody that can move, man, and that's a difference maker. And there's a lot of nice stuff within his game, and he's certainly one of those quarterbacks that you can add to the list. His size might get tested at time to time because he might be on the thinner side, but size doesn't really matter for some of these quarterbacks anymore. The game has changed. You need speed at the position. And there might not be a faster quarterback in this draft than Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Now, you said something interesting there. You said the size is not mattering too much in today's NFL, and the hair, the big hair, the one who's known for mock drafts. Although I'm rarely accurate these days, but he kind of was the first one on the scene. Give him credit for what you will. But Mel Kiper dropped his first mock draft this year, and he actually had Bryce Young kind of slipping based off his size. What were your quarterback rankings, if you don't mind me asking, for like in terms of like the top?
Yeah, so for me, it goes Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker. I mean, those are my top 5 guys. And I'm very torn between Levis and Stroud, and I think both those guys could certainly be QB1s. Off of just Bryce Young, though, the size definitely scares me, but the talent is just too much to look past. And I can't look past what I've seen on tape over the last 2 years from him, whether it be mobility, whether it takes some shots and get back in the game, whether it's a big arm throw. He is just what teams are looking for in today's type of quarterback. And it didn't make teams shy away from taking Tua or, Kyler Murray or even Russell Wilson, even though he was a 3rd-round pick. It just – and I get it, Kyler and Tua, those guys are a little bit thicker with their lower half. Bryce Young is not. He's kind of looks like he's built like a slot receiver. But at the same time, like he plays the position a lot different. So I can understand why somebody like Kiper or people in the league have their, concerns about him. But I just ultimately look at him and I say, man, the arm jumps off, the mobility jumps off. He won a freaking Heisman. Like, this guy is the real deal. And I get it. Heisman Trophy winners don't always, transition into the NFL. But when I look at a team like Houston that has such a bad roster, I mean, they're straight booty, right? Like, they are terrible when you look at the roster. They need a spark in their franchise. Why wouldn't you take a guy like a Bryce Young? Because when you look at Stroud and Levis, there's a lot of questionables there. I mean, Stroud, the great performance against Georgia, where's this been back-to-back years against Michigan? Where is it when you're playing, Rutgers on the road or you're playing Iowa on the road? You struggle at time to time. Will Levis, you didn't have a bunch of NFL talent around you this year, and you struggled. Well, you're going to be a top 5 pick in the draft. You're going to go to a team where there's not a lot of talent around you. So what are you going to do from year 1 and 2? So I know there's going to be struggles for quarterbacks as a rookie and as 2-year guys and stuff like that. But with me, Bryce Young is just a head above these guys. So that's why I view it the way I got it.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we heard Brad Holmes talk about the quarterback, addressing the quarterback spot and what's going on there, and saying that he believes that sitting someone behind a Jared Goff holds a lot of merit. Now, if they end up deciding to do something like that and addressing it in the draft, do you think the Lions would go after someone who is similar to Goff so they wouldn't have to change much, or kind of what fans are asking, like a mobile, I don't want to say dual threat, but at least somebody that can move around and make some things happen with his legs?
All these guys are more mobile than Goff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could very well look at that. I mean, I know that as I said, it's definitely important in today's game, and I do wonder if they're going to value a kid like Anthony Richardson. I mean, I know at least from what I heard back in November, they had been to Florida games 5 times at that point in time with their scouts. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant amount. We know he's got a tie to the Pac-12 with Oregon and just all of his connections on the West Coast. So you'd have to think maybe if he's looking at QBs, maybe he is looking at Dorian Thompson-Robinson. But if he's going to Florida a bunch of times, or he's got scouts going a bunch of times, is it an interior defensive lineman like Gervin Dexter? Is it the right guard out of Florida, Osiris Torrance? Or is it very well Anthony Richardson? And I will say this, and you guys are going to be the first podcast or show or radio show that
Let's
I do
go.
As far as saying this, and I'm not ashamed to say it, and I'm going to say it probably all off season, but it hit me the other day. And when I look at Anthony Richardson, I have no problems with his skill set as far as size, mobility, the big arm, but he is so reliant on that big arm, and it really worries me because it reminds me of a previous quarterback that we saw back in 2017. And when you look at the size, a lot of people are going to say, hey, AR is Josh Allen or Cam Newton 2.0, and that's fair. That's what you expect him to be. But let's be honest, he's a lot more like Deshaun Kaiser right now than he ever is Josh Allen or Cam Newton. And when you look at the measurables, good God, are they close? I mean, you're talking 6'4", 233 for Kaiser when he checked into the combine. Anthony Richardson is 6'4", 232. And when I watched him against Georgia, there's so many times that he's throwing off his heels. That's exactly what Kaiser did, relying on arm strength, didn't go through mechanics. So if we took him at 6 or 18, I'm cool with it because we're built a lot better than some of these other teams. I know Kiper had Richardson going to like Carolina, but that's not really a ready-made offense for him to win, and he can't come in year one. They need guys to start playing now. They got a lot of rookie contracts on the defensive side of the football, some good defensive players. They got to figure some things out, and maybe they're going to give Frank Reich time and everything like that, but I don't know. Anthony Richardson is just such a question mark, and he's one of those where you're kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. The one game I caught of his was against Florida State, and it was ugly. It was real ugly. We have to take a real quick break. You mind sticking through a break with us? Watching a few more commercials?
Absolutely, Lady James.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Guys, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you that in the last 9 weeks, it saved its customers an average of 26% on their insurance premiums
$5
while increasing the coverage. That's a lot of money to free up for those USFL Michigan Panthers season tickets with the heavyweights. Let's go!
Go Panthers!
Go Panthers! Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back with NFL scout Russell Brown.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
The Midway has swapped out roller skating, basketball, and mini golf for a giant Arctic slide, winter bumper cars, indoor arcade, and puck putt. With free entry to the site, enjoy a variety of new activities aimed at creating exceptional winter experiences for everyone. Get to the Midway this winter to enjoy tasty treats while making magical memories during the most wonderful time of the year. Those tasty treats include, but are not limited to, burgers, pierogi, homemade chili, chicken sandwiches, mac and cheese bites, plus gluten-free and vegan goodies, so everyone has something to eat. Coming soon, the Woodward Sports Winter Olympics. You'll be able to compete against Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards, Adam, Ryan Ermanni, Jeff Iafrady, the heavyweights, and all of the Woodward Sports family in Monroe Street Midway games. So make sure you go downtown and check out the Monroe Street Midway, presented by Bedrock Detroit.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights, live on WoodwardSports.com. We're here with the NFL Draft Scout, Russell Brown. Let's jump right back into it because I want to talk defense. Obviously, we got to see the quarterback question there that does most numbers. All right, we got to play a numbers game every once in a while. But in all reality, it looks like the Detroit Lions probably going defense, or at least heavily defense within this draft. And we discussed our favorite defensive tackles as a position in need.
Yes, we have.
I kind of want to get your grades on our list here. See how well the heavies draft the heavies or scout the heavies. Spinney, give them yours first.
So, obviously, the top two are the top two. Everybody knows that. It's Jalen Carter and Brian Brisset. And then it got a little dicey for me. I threw John Dexter in there out of Florida. I like him a lot. But the guy I really fell in love with after I was looking tape and watching these guys, I'm going to butcher his name every time I say it, but is Sikai Ika out of Baylor. That big dude in the middle, just a monster, is very fast for his size, gets after the quarterback as well as blocking the run. And then I had Mozzie Smith at 5. But I look at Ika, and that is the guy that I really like. That I told Eazy when I was watching the tape and do it, I was like,
he's so cute.
I wouldn't mind if the Lions went offense in the first round, because I think he'd be there in the second round, and I like this guy a lot. So that was the one that I was fawning over, for lack of better terms.
What are you grading his scouting?
Yeah, I think that's a solid, BB plus right there. And I mean, I'm with you on Ika. I think he's a late second round pick, an early third round pick. He is just so talented, so massive. As you mentioned, fast. He's got athleticism. I'm okay if they, Jalen Carter doesn't fall to them, and there's no defensive lineman that they feel like they should take at 6, or they just change the board and they want to go safe. Maybe they go offensive tackle to plug somebody inside to guard, and potentially left tackle. Maybe that's Peter Skoronski from Northwestern, or Roger Jones from Georgia. But either way, I'm fine with Ika, and I would be okay with him at the back end of the second round, early in the third round. I think he is really good. You mentioned Dexter. I think he's got to definitely develop a pass rush plan. He's got great size for the position. I think he can play just about anywhere on an interior front, whether it's a 2-eye, a nose, 4-eye, things like that. But he's got to develop a plan. But the length is there, the tools are there. It's going to matter how much time is he going to need. And when you look at the Lions with second-round picks, do they continue to take guys that might need time? I don't know. We're kind of waiting for Pascal to get healthy, and we saw what happened with Levi and stuff like that. So it would be very interesting if that's kind of the trend, though. They start taking some of these hybrid defensive linemen in the second round. They could very well go to that same trend with that list.
That's a great point with referencing to Pascal and Levi and experience with those guys taking the second round. Our lists are pretty much the same. The one guy that I fell in love with, that I fawned over, was Keanu Benton out of Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. And what really triggered me to him, one, the size. I mean, 6'4", 315 pounds. But then I also found out he's a former wrestler, and that's one of the things that I liked about Malcolm. I feel like when you watch these guys, I mean, the aggressiveness is there. They're attacking, and the defensive line, I feel like that's something you need. Am I tripping a little bit, or is there something to fawn over there in Keanu Benton?
No, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I really like him as a third round pick. I think he kind of fits that mold. It wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being a top 50 pick just through the draft process once teams get to kind of see him up close and personal and they realize what they can do with him, because there's so much potential with him. He's got great power, great size at 6'4", 315. I think he's definitely lacked the production as a pass rusher, which might scare some people, but Derek Brown kind of was the same way when he was coming out of Auburn. He was a top 10 pick out of for Carolina. So I think it's very possible with Benton, and I'm not saying he's Derek Brown because they're definitely different types of players, but you can find value there, and you're hoping that Keanu Benton is kind of like a Kenny Clark 2.0, if you will. He went, obviously, Kenny Clark was, I think, far and away better coming out of college than Benton, and he was a first-round pick, and rightfully so. But at the same time, you take one of these guys, and they could very well mold into a really solid player. And for Detroit to potentially get an interior defensive lineman to pair with a Lee McNeil, I would love that. And I think it's a great landing spot if he ends up coming here. And I love the thought of Jalen Carter in the first round. I love Brescia in the first round as well. But I'm not going to force my hand when I know I can get potentially Ika or Benton here in the late second or early stages of the third round.
And there's one thing I want to squeak into, because the godfather of the mock drafts, Mel Kiper, in his top 10 pick, he had Cansey. I don't know. I'm not even going to attempt that first name. I don't know if it's Kalaja or Kalaja, whatever. Yeah. The kid out of the pit. Is there something to be desired there with him?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched him in depth yet. I've seen a little bit from him, and I just know he's really undersized. I mean, he's listed at 6 foot 280. So you're going to have to really be careful. He might be Aaron Donald 2.0 just because, not saying the Pitt thing, but because of him being undersized, and he might have this feisty side to him, and he might be one of those guys that grinds tape for 24 hours out of the day, and he understands everything that a player has and doesn't have. But at the same time, it's rare to find those guys, and I just don't know if that's the type of guy that he is, if he's wired that way. But just some of the stuff I've seen briefly, he does struggle from time to time with some double teams. He has some nice, counter moves and pass rush moves, but it's just not consistent enough. So I was a little surprised when I saw him in the top 10, and I don't know if it's agent talk there or if that's general, legit buzz that he's going to be a first rounder. We'll kind of see what happens through this process for him, but he's going to be somebody that, we'll probably circle back to here on this show, and I'll probably do the same on Twitter and probably post some clips of him.
For sure. And the last time we had you on, we talked about cornerbacks, and you made us fall in love with Christian Gonzalez amongst other players. And there's been a lot of – obviously the Lions are going to have to go cornerback at some point in this draft. They're going to do it early as well. And this is a very deep draft for the cornerback position. There's a lot of different guys you can look at, but the one that's starting to rise up boards that's looking like – could potentially be the number one cornerback off the board is Witherspoon out of Illinois. What does he do that just makes him stand out amongst these other guys that, like I said, is in a very deep class of rookie cornerbacks?
Well, he's just so physical, man. He's a tone setter. He is somebody that is going to come downhill, and he's going to light you up. I think he can be effective outside, in the slot. He's so talented, and I think there's a lot of when you look at him, you see a lot of potential, and you realize, hey, I can mold this guy into a true CB1 at the next level. So I think there's times where he maybe he might get a little too aggressive or too excessive with his hands. He ends up maybe being a little bit out of position or has bad technique in a certain rep. But there's a lot of consistency there, and I think as he gets into the NFL and really becomes more consistent, he's going to really become a dude at the next level, an impact guy. He won't be at the Senior Bowl, it sounds like. It seems like he was taken off roster, so we'll kind of see what happens there. But I would definitely be stunned if he kind of fell out of the first round, unless there's something that sparked up here as far as injury or something like that, to why he's not going to be at the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Now, for you personally, do you still hold a Christian Gonzalez over him? And what is it about a Christian Gonzalez that you'd favor over Devon Witherspoon?
Yeah, I mean, Christian Gonzalez, I love his length. He's going to be a top 10 player for me. And, every board is different. Everybody evaluates talent different. But when I look back at previous drafts, and, I remember Marshawn Lattimore in 2017 and, Patrick Surtain the second. I just look at certain guys like that. And Christian Gonzalez, I think, has shades and blends of his game to compare to guys like that. I mean, he is so fluid with his lower half. He's got great length. You see that from time to time, and you're like, man, it's kind of like Sauce Gardner, but he's a little bit more yoked up. He's not as thin framed as Sauce was. So I look at him, and I think he's a pretty good tackler. People are going to say he's not. I beg to differ, and somebody's made a comment, and I instantly posted a clip of him coming downhill and tackling. So I think Gonzalez, he's just got great ball skills, great length. He plays through the catch point. He really does a good job as far as these double turns. He'll flip his hips, he'll open to run with the receiver. Let's say the receiver's aligned inside, so on his left side, or depending on where he's at, he opens left, and all of a sudden he knows the receiver's going to break in behind him, so he flips his hips to the right, and he's instantly just in their hip pocket. And you see that stuff, and you're just like, man, that's a different type of dude right there. And that's how I think he is. I think he's just wired differently. He is football, but he's a track and field guy as well. His sister is married to David Blau, so I think he's a stud dude, and I really do believe he's going to be somebody that turns a lot of heads this season.
And that's that was a big thing that sold Eazy, was that he knew David Blau and he could talk to him on different occasions. Eazy loved that part of him, but yeah. I love him too as well. I watched his tape after we got off the show with you. I was like, geez, this kid is going to be something special. And you said you have him as a top 10 player on your board. Is 6 too high? Is that too much of a reach for a guy like that? Or do you think that's legitimately something the Lions could be considering?
I think when you look at Detroit, 2-3 years ago, I think it's a little bit of a different story because of how the roster was kind of shaken out to be and the direction that they were going. You knew we were headed for a rebuild. But the way it's looking now, you could say it's the biggest need on the team. For sure. When you think of what we did in the second half of the season, we did a great job stopping teams and shutting them down, but it felt like at any given time, no matter who we played, Sam Darnold shredded us whenever he wanted to, and it was like whenever a quarterback wanted to make a big play or make a big throw, not saying they never want to, right? They always want to, but it just felt like whenever they wanted to make the easy button and make the play call that made sense for them to go 50, 60 yards, they could do it against our defense. And we don't know what's going on with Jeff Okudah. Kind of odd situation for him at the end of the year. Amani O fell off a cliff faster than Russell Wilson. If I see Will Harris in the slot one more time, I'm gonna punch a car like Eric Ebron. And I think it's one of our biggest needs. And I'm fine with spending some money to get a top corner in here or a really depth guy. But I think when I look at Gonzalez at 6, he has the shades of a potential, Pro Bowl caliber corner, and I think that's what we desperately need on the back end of our defense with Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston rushing the passer.
Dude,
I'm with you too.
I'm sold, man.
I told you that's what I want. I know it's a cornerback deep class, but
because we talked about that. Mel had him going 18, right, to the Lions. I don't think he's going to survive there. When he had him taking Tyree Wilson at 6, and my thought process of it was the drop off between Tyree Wilson and Miles Murphy and the edges that'll be there at 18 is bigger than the drop-off between the cornerbacks that would go that early and the cornerbacks that would be there at 18. But
I'm really tripping as edge as a need for the Lions, though,
Yeah, and I will say this. The positions that Mel gave us, it's both very deep in that regard. It's a deep edge class. You can find them in every round. every show I've done this year, I've talked about edge rushers, and I mean, I go down a list of 12 to 15 guys, and there are so many names that you can go and get quality guys that can get you 4 sacks, 6 sacks, 8 sacks a year. I genuinely believe guys in the 3rd round. You look at corner, still a pretty deep draft. I mean, we haven't even really talked in depth about Joey Porter Jr. We haven't talked about Ringo from Georgia, who I don't remember Mel's mock off the top of my head, but like, if I remember correctly, I don't even know if Ringo was in the 1st round.
I don't think he was. I could look real quick, yeah.
And I will say it's weird. He wasn't in the 1st round, if I remember correctly. And now today, people are saying that he's running down in out in Washington. He's at some training facility. He's running like 25 miles per hour. I don't know if I believe that or not. I mean, maybe Ringo can run a 4.3 40, but I just find it odd. The timing of that is very odd, that a mock draft comes out, a really talented player who was kind of the consensus top corner is not there anymore. Guys like Gonzalez and Witherspoon are getting a lot of buzz, and now this guy's not listed in the 1st round of a mock draft. So he might be somebody that, we circle back to with Joey Porter Jr., but you look at, those 3 or 4 names, that those are guys that could all be gone by 8.
We have to go to break soon, but I'm running over just a little bit because we have another one of these young little rugrats here at Woodward Sports. His name's Lucas. He's running the social media for us, and he's obsessed with Emmanuel Forbes. Where are you at with him? I looked at some of this stuff, and I felt like a lot of it was like Kille Ringo-esque, where it's like opportunistic, but also you can't deny those numbers.
His closing speed is what stood out to me.
Yeah, he's somebody that has this click close ability where he can just get into his back pedal and just quickly close onto the football. He's got great length. He's 6'3". He plays through the catch point. And when you look at his length, I mean, similar to how I kind of feel with Gonzalez, you think simply to last year because it's the easiest thing to go, retreat back to last year because it's so recent. You just think Sauce Gardner because of the length. Now, I don't think he's got the foot speed as Sauce, and I don't know, as far as where he's wired with his, football IQ, but I'm sure he's a really smart dude, and I'm excited to watch more of him. He's not something that I've watched super in depth, but I'm with you from the game and a half, 2 games that I've watched in season. He has got this closing speed that's incredible. The length is really, really what stood out to me. And when I see guys that have long arms, can run with receivers, that's an instant win for me. So I'm sure I'm going to really like him a lot, and he's going to be somebody else that gets thrown into that mix of 5, 6, 7 type of corners that we could see in the top 50 of this draft.
Damn, Russ, I really appreciate having you on. I know we've had you for like 30 minutes. If you want to stay, I'd love to keep you, but if you got to go, I understand too. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go eat some dinner.
I feel you.
Next Thursday, we can do an hour.
Yes, sir. I'm down. Thank you, Russ.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, fellas.
What do you think he's having for dinner?
I don't know, but I got to get some of it because this guy, he knows his shit, man. It's every time we talk to him, he just opens my eyes to another guy. I'm like I said, as soon as we got off there, I went and looked at Christian Gonzalez tape the last time we had him on, and I was like, dude, this kid is legit.
And he's the homie. I love Russ.
Oh yeah, Russ is the man, dude.
Yeah.
Always happy to have Russ on. So
he's in great shape. That's why he stays punching cars.
He's in great shape, but he's got to stop punching cars. Maybe he can hit a heavy bag or something. And they can do that at Planet Fitness because Planet Fitness is the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports. Also the home of the Judgment Free Zone, where you can work out for just $10 a month or upgrade to the Black Card and get unlimited guest privileges, hydro massage, and more. Join in club today or go to planetfitness.com, where Planet Fitness is where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Love Woodward Sports? sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports Clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goffs, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At Alta,
uptime
matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Make sure you give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Equipment where
uptime
matters. I love having my son. It's dope.
I learn something new every time we bring him on, man.
Yeah.
It's just impressive to me.
This defensive tackle.
Guy's a psycho for the draft, man.
Yeah. The Keanu Benton stuff, I'm glad he confirmed that because I told you when we initially started discussing it, I had that little bit of that same feeling I got with Malcolm.
He said Ika would be drafted higher.
Yeah. Would I say wouldn't?
Ika. Huh?
Did I say he wouldn't? Or?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I haven't even watched his tape yet.
Yeah, the guy's huge, fast, he's got long arms.
I'll watch him tonight. I'm gonna watch some defensive tackles tonight.
Impressive stuff.
I'll watch him. I'm gonna watch some more Keanu. And Ross is going to the Senior Bowl next week too, so I'd love to have him on then because he's going to be like there in person in action. And
for sure.
The other thing that goes on these combines, the Senior Bowls, the agents, scouts, all get to talking.
Oh yeah,
that's where you go, the juicy stuff.
Get that inside info.
That good. Nonetheless, JB's got the Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl this year.
Black Rick
got the Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl. And they're actually they're 10th favorite.
Yeah.
10th, tied for 10th odds to make the Super Bowl next year.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
How you feel?
It's 25% on 25 mil that I'm not going to put on the Lions to win the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that. But you look at that, and they're at plus 3,500 with the Rams, Bucks, and Jags. The Packers are ahead of them at plus 3,000, and the Ravens are ahead of them at plus 2,800. So you got to think if Rodgers leaves the Packers, Lamar leaves Baltimore, those guys are going to fall under the Lions. But then again, the Jets are at plus 4,000. So if Rodgers goes to the Jets, that's going to shoot up.
That's fair.
But they're still that's I don't know. I'm not obviously putting any money on that. I'm not ready to say the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl next year or make the Super Bowl next year. I do think they'll win their division.
Yeah.
I do think they'll do that, which puts them in a good position to have home playoff advantage at least for the first game. So depending on what goes down there. But Super Bowl is too rich for my blood right now. There's still too many holes in that defense. We'll see. You add a Christian Gonzalez, you add a Ika, you add a linebacker like a Trey Edmonds in free agency. You re-sign Jamal Williams. Maybe we're talking about a Super Bowl caliber roster if those guys pan out and everybody takes a step forward. But it's still a little bit too early in the rebuild for me. That's the craziest part is this is still a rebuild.
I know.
Like, as good as they're playing, this is still a rebuild.
Shout out Brad Holmes.
This is year 2. This was year 2 of a rebuild.
Yeah.
And you got to think in year 3 of the rebuild, I expect them to win the division, which is impressive for Brad Holmes, for Dan Campbell, for Sheila Ford Hamp, for them making those decisions, making the moves, and it working out. Obviously, the players as well play the biggest role. But that's what I want. I want to see the growth that I talked about when I was pissed off when they were 1-6, not seeing growth of the guys, not seeing growth of the coaching staff. Then obviously that flipped on a 180, and everybody started growing. Everybody started making plays. You started seeing it in the box scores, seeing it in the results of the games. I need to see that same growth of the midseason change of the Lions from year 1 to year 2 of guys like Aiden Hutchinson. I said I could see Aiden Hutchinson getting 13.5 sacks next year.
That'd be lit.
I could see that. If he continues to play like he did at the end of the year, you got to think he's going to have more help on that defensive
really
line.
Did turn up at the end of the year.
He turned up. He was going in.
I mean, that Packers game even, just watching him in that one, he was a monster.
And you got to think a healthy Kaminsky, a healthy Bugs, a healthy James Houston, a healthy Pascal.
You name a couple guys got to bring back, though. Kaminsky and Bugs.
I mean, they're going to sign both of them for sure.
I agree, actually.
I would be very surprised if either of those guys weren't on the roster next year.
The Ika guy. There's tons of names I'm constantly getting sold on in the interior line this draft class. Are you almost tired of like investing early in those? No?
No. I will never be upset on the Detroit Lions drafting defensive linemen in the early rounds ever. That is what you do. You build a unit, and they're constantly rotating in and out. You build depth. And, yeah, Levi didn't work out, but Ika could be a guy you put next to Aleem and have those two start, and then you're rotating a Pascal, you're rotating a Bugs, you're rotating a Kaminsky in there for different situations. Because I'm telling you, bro, I watched this tape. I was like, this guy can literally do everything. It's extremely impressive. When I saw him get to the quarterback, when I saw him fighting off defenders with his long arms, looking for the running back, filling the gap, going down the line of scrimmage to make tackles in the run game, it's extremely impressive. And he is a massive human being. So
how tall is he?
6'4".
Okay.
He's 6'4", I think 358 or something like that.
350?
Yeah.
My God. That's a... Oh, you gotta look it up. Don't feel bad. You were at something, Chris.
Just going to ask if either of you offhand remember, were the Lions even in the Calvin Johnson, Matt Stafford era where they were flirting with the playoffs and getting in the playoffs? Were they top 10 Super Bowl odds even in those years?
That's a great question. I don't remember off the top of my head. Gambling wasn't legal back then, so this kind of stuff wasn't as big of a storyline. But this is what I think it's DraftKings, which is a reputable sports book. It's not onlinebetting.com/.net us. It's not that. It's actual. But so many things going to change. Like you said.
Do you think though part of that is because we've talked about this before? We talked about it with Hard Knocks how the Lions just have a very, very strong fan base, unlike most football teams.
No, because these are odds. These are weighed out.
But you don't
this
think
is before
that's,
even bets were made on it.
Okay.
Obviously, when the bets start pouring in, they adjust the odds based on that. But this is before bets started going in.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'd be a risk for them to just do something like that, because if
Lions
it
plus
happens,
2,000.
they're gonna fuck themselves,
Yeah.
But you said something interesting though in talking of that, and we got to get to a hot take, and one with Jared Goff, and it's not ours, by the way.
It's not ours.
It's not ours, and we'll get to it. But you said if they drafted Gonzalez and they drafted Ika, to remain there at 10 odds for the Super Bowl or even move up, do you think those are the draft picks they need to make?
I do. I think they would need definitely a Gonzalez. I think a Bijan Robinson, and then because like I said, Ika, even Russ said he's mid-second round guy.
Yeah,
that's dude. I like he's my crush of the draft. I want that dude really bad. Pause.
Ika?
Yeah.
Mine's Keanu Benton still.
But
actually, I don't know. 358. That's a big boy. I'm
and he's fast, and he played over 300 snaps last year. He's not a guy that you have to worry about, not getting snap count because he has the endurance to play snaps, and he can do he can stop the run, he can rush the passer. Extremely impressive talent for me, but I just think they'd have to do something big to make those drafts go higher. Obviously, getting a guy like Christian Gonzalez and him turning out to be what Russ expects him to be, a potential Pro Bowl guy.
Holy shit, this guy.
He is huge, man.
He's kind of like a Vita Vea, reminds me
and
of.
He's fast.
Did Russ give us a pro comp when we saw him just now?
No, he doesn't like doing pro comps.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
I like him. I need him.
He said he likes him. And
I need a visual.
Like I said, he's big and he's fast. He's got long arms.
I just don't want to be racist with it because he looks like Vita Vea.
A little bit.
Or Danny Shelton a little bit,
Yeah. But I think I think he's more talented than Vita Vea.
Yeah.
Like skill set wise. Obviously Vita Vea is a fantastic run stopper.
Yeah.
And a man in that middle, but I think he can do more.
I'm just thinking the same question I asked you, like what positions do the Detroit Lions draft for the 10 best Super Bowl odds or even beyond that, for it to be? And I like the Bijan one. I'm agreeing with that one.
I think that would bump their odds.
For sure.
You get a corner, you get Bijan.
You pull the trigger on that one. That's the sandwich I would make. I don't know how to express that one. But yeah, I go Bijan, and because like you said, like Russ said, like many others are saying, the cornerback class is deep.
It's very deep. Pause.
It's counselor deep.
Yeah.
All right.
Cousin deep. It's an extremely impressive class, and an extremely impressive place is the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. Because the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Folding. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foldingwarehouse.com.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris in the TD booth, JB Smooth, the 1-2s. And I've been working on the name for this one. It was a hot takes with Anson, I think I said last time.
Thursday hot take delivery.
Yeah, Thursday hot take delivery. How about hot takes with hot plates? No? Yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of corny, yeah.
Yeah. We're working on it. We're working on it.
We'll think something.
But Anson's back at it again.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to bring this up to you here, but I'll tell you what I got here. Again, at home, if you guys are watching us and you got a restaurant or some food or some goodies that you want us to share on Thursdays, please let us know, and we'll come by and pick it up.
Thanks.
We're definitely going to need that Planet Fitness, though, after all these Thursdays good eating, man.
Joey's supposed to bring me my membership. Yo, Joey, where you at, man?
Don't do him like that, though, because he did give you one.
I know. I love you, Joey.
So I stayed out in Washington Township.
Okay.
El Pueblo Mexican Market.
Ooh.
I'm already excited.
Yeah, I'm already
live
excited
at this place. Now, y'all know I spent a lot of time down in Mexico.
Yeah.
So this is a little home away from home, my second home, that is.
Yeah.
And it's super duper authentic. We've had a large Mexican population in that Orchards area for many decades now, and they've set up some really fantastic Mexican restaurants and markets. This place will get you some chronic ass tacos, as well as service all of your Mexican market needs. But I brought some tacos, some pastor, and I also brought something that you guys probably never had before. And you can't find these in America.
Molly.
These are cacahuates japonés liso, which means smooth Japanese nuts. But
wait.
That's right, cacahuates japonés liso.
Let me get some of them smooth Japanese nuts in my mouth.
And they are so chronic, these smooth Japanese nuts. This Japanese guy actually who moved to Mexico brought these Japanese style nuts to Mexico, and they swept the land, man.
Yeah.
And they are that chronic. So I bought a bag of these two. Now there's only 5 tacos in there. I didn't have a whole lot of time. I was rushing, and I got to make sure everybody's fed. So don't you all heavyweights be eating 2 and 3 up there,
all
okay?
Right,
that's fine.
That's fair.
1.5 each. Now, if you're just joining and you're wondering what the hell's going on here,
you can get a taco.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna try these nuts first.
Anson always has these hot takes.
Hey, yo! I do. I got some hot takes, man.
He's always got the spicy foods, the spicy takes. And today, he had one of my literal response to him via text was, "Fuck you."
Exactly what I was looking for, too, man. You know, I got to put out a disclaimer. I am not on board 100% with these. Some of them I will be.
Okay.
Some of them I am not.
Those smooth nuts are pretty good.
Those smooth Japanese nuts are real
nuts
good.
in your mouth, boy.
By way of Mexico. But these are polarizing questions that are being asked in the Detroit sports sphere right now. And I think that, a lot of the things that we're talking about, we're glancing over the more important situation here. So you guys are just talking about the draft.
Yeah.
Heard some awesome stuff in there.
Russ the man.
Now, I saw a lot of talking this last week about whether the Lions should draft a quarterback or not. Where are you guys at on that?
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, it depends on the scenario. Like, If a C.J. Stroud staring me there at 6, I feel like it's going to be really hard for Brad Holmes to say no.
What about a Will Levis at 6?
Not as in love with the idea of it. No, I'm not as in love with it. But some people have Will Levis as their number one quarterback on the board. So, I mean, I wouldn't be – I'll put it to you this way. I wouldn't be upset either way.
Yeah. I got a guy who is – he's my savant. I go to him all the time for my rookie draft info for who the Lions should be looking at. And he's a huge Will Levis fan. But I think one of the things that we got to be careful about is assuming what Brad Holmes is going to do just because there's holes on the roster. What we know is Brad Holmes Holmes is going to Holmes. He's going to go out and get his players, whether they're at the offense, whatever position they are. If they're on the board, that's who he's going to go get. So I'm looking at all of these predictions and what kind of positions we're going to go, where we would go for quarterback, but we're just glancing right over the most obvious thing. We have one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. He's at least top 10. He's arguably top 8. And when you consider the years of futility at the quarterback position in Detroit, who's a better quarterback? I mean, we got Matt Stafford, who sits alone on top of the heap of garbage quarterbacks that Detroit has put in jerseys over the many, many decades of losses. Who would you say is the second best quarterback we ever had?
Jared Goff.
Right? So now I'm looking at this. I'm looking beyond, number 6 in TDs. I'm looking beyond number 6 in yards passing. I'm looking beyond the only 7 interceptions. When you start breaking these efficiency ratings and the deep statistics, dude's number 11 in pressured throws, which is much better than advertised. Danger plays, he's number 6. Interceptable passes, number 8. Yards per average, number 7. Rating accuracy, 4. Deep completion percentage, 7. Red zone percentage, 7. I mean, these numbers just keep going like that. True pass rating, number 9. Clean pocket, 11. Clean pocket accuracy, number 1 in the league. Percentage against number 8 against man, number 8 against zone. Rating against man, 7 against zone, number 9. Accuracy, 9 and 7. You see a theme here. This guy is a number 6, 7 to at worst 12 quarterback. Now, this guy had the number 69 receiver separation rating in the league. That is a testament to the trash that we have in the receiver room. Now, those guys stepped up and played. Obviously,
Relax.
I'm on raw first down. That guy is completely out of this conversation. But imagine when we start getting some better players up there. This team led the league in drops, which I was surprised to find out.
Really?
Yeah. So now you're looking at a guy that's making $20 million in 21 and 23 and 24, right? So we did just kind of extend this guy. But if this guy has another year like this, he's a $30 million quarterback. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. $30 million is a good number. It's nothing too crazy. But for me, I'm not ready to call him the second best quarterback in Detroit Lions history after one season.
Okay, who are you ready to call the second best quarterback?
After one season, though,
but
I need to see it a little bit more consistently.
I'm giving you 75 years. Tell me somebody, because we got to go back to Bobby Lane.
Yeah, that's probably who it would be.
Okay.
It would be Bobby Lane.
All right.
Because like I said, he's very talented, but it is one season, so I do want to pump the brakes a little bit.
Oh, but SOL is over, right?
It's getting there. It's getting there. I'd say it's over. But I'm not. So you want to re-sign him like this year, like this season?
I would like to work on a contract extension for 2 years for 25 and 26. Get the guy signed up at $24 million. Extend that signing bonus that we're still working off of from his original deal that they actually, that they changed last year, and let's lock this guy up. End the debate. End the possibility of bringing a young guy in that's going to create all the waves in this locker room that we don't need.
Yeah.
This guy is the perfect system quarterback. We have a massively young team. We can call our offensive line elite. It's not. It's right on the edge of it. But add one more guy, get another guy healthy, and they're elite. Add a veteran wide receiver that's a little more skilled than DJ Chark. Get some sort of a passing tight end that brings that tight end room even stronger. This is a team that, with a few well-placed pieces like Bijan, and now you're looking at a guy that could do better. I mean, there's a lot of people screaming regression in the Goff world, but I see this guy honestly having an opportunity to just get better. It's the number one pick, remember, the guy who's been to the big game. Mm-hmm. He's, 27? Mm-hmm. I like all of that.
First of all, the tacos were delicious.
That's amazing.
So were the nuts.
Shout out El Pueblo Market, Washington Township.
Shout out El Pueblo, because those were great. But for me, I do think Jared Goff is going to have more interceptions next year, just because a 7 interception mark is ridiculous. That is a huge standard to have. I can't see him going there again, only having 7 interceptions. And I do think they'll be pushing the ball more down the field because of the emergence of Jameson Williams, which puts more balls in jeopardy than it would if you're throwing underneath routes and stuff like that.
And falls into his weakness, the downfield passing.
In that aspect, he'll have a little bit of a regression. But I don't think he's going to throw 20 interceptions, but I think it'll be double digits just because 7 is an insane pace. You can't predict a guy to only have 7 interceptions in a 17-game season. But for me, it's not so much as... Yeah, would you sign him to a $24 million deal? Yes, I would, but I don't think he would accept that. I don't think Jared Goff, if the numbers are there, if this is there, if he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, is going to be like, okay, I'll take a $15 million discount to market. I don't see that happening per se. I think if anything, he's going to want to get paid more than he's making right now.
Well, and it would be a race, for me, it's a lock him up deal. It's a put all of that talk to rest. Give him the confidence that he has honestly earned. He should have the full confidence of this town and this club. I believe it.
My issue is this, and I get to like you not. This is sports talk, and I'm not gonna necessarily lay this all on you, but we have this gentleman for another 2 years now. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of his success, that being said, it's still success. I can't deny that. People who say Goff is in a regression period, I think that's ridiculous to say. He had one of his best seasons yet this past season. I think you point to Ben Johnson in that.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm hesitant in investing in him specifically, especially if it's going to bring me above. And I don't know if you know about this theory of mine, but the 12% rule I have, the 12.2%.
And what's this?
Oh, man. So
tell me.
Oh, man. The chat's dying right now.
So the salary cap, we've been in 1994. From 1995 on, and even last year included, there hasn't been a single quarterback to win the Super Bowl taking more than a 12.2% cap hit to the team's cap. And we all know football's a team sport just in general. But in the salary cap era, it's team sport even more.
And now, what is the one quarterback that you would expect to ruin that 12% because of all the rings he's won?
Tom Brady.
But didn't, because he restructured his contracts all the time.
Exactly.
Why can't we sell Jared Goff on that?
Maybe we can, but I still feel like the part of his success is Ben Johnson. And we're going to dive into this, trust me.
I think it's easy to restructure your contract once you've won a couple Super Bowls.
That too. It's easier to sell that way. Tell us about SMA. Look, I'm ready for this one, but we got to pay some bills first.
I will, because SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency, helps spread awareness about mental health or substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or someone you know is struggling, make sure you go to thesportsma.com to get the help you deserve.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Downtown Detroit's all decked out. Return of the Cadillac Lodge in Monroe Street Midway. They got winter bumper cars, the giant winter slide. You already know the heavyweight's going to be down there too. They got the lodge. You grab some drinks before and after the games. Guys, shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with deckedoutdetroit.com.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Yo, Chris in the TD booth, JB Smooth, the ones, twos, and Anson Wells joining us as Wells, and he's bringing the hot plates with hot takes, and he wants to re-sign Jared Goff. Nah, I don't want to attack your point with this because it's not fair, but do you believe in this?
Well, what Spen brought up, they're big points. I mean, it's a situation that's not common in the NFL. If you got 1 year remaining, that's where teams are looking to extend you before that season starts. We've got two full seasons here. A big part of this is the quarterback of Detroit syndrome. And there's a sickness in this city when it comes to our quarterbacks. I mean, we chased a Hall of Fame quarterback out of town, basically. Now we've got one right here that I believe is completely undervalued. Maybe it'll take another year, but if we take another year of this kind of play, he's a $30 million quarterback. And what I could see out of us right now is being able to get this guy for $24, $25 million through his age 31 season, which I really like his skill set still through that age. But a huge thing for me is just putting this discussion to rest. Is he our quarterback? Do we need to run a rookie? Do we need to sign somebody else? And that is just poison. It's always been poison for the Detroit Lions. So, do I believe that it's going to happen? No. It does not fall within the NFL box, the contract box, if you will, of how GMs and teams act these days. But Holmes is a guy that's always thought outside of the box. He's done some things that were unpopular up front that have paid off. And I think that this would be another one of those things. So I've fallen in love with what Jared Goff does in Honolulu Blue for this regime. And I want to see more of it for a while.
Yeah, for me, I don't want to stop because it's success. You have to call it success. He played very well this season. Detroit Lions didn't make the playoffs at the end of it all. And in some of the games, yeah, you can point to defense, but there's literally games like the Seattle Seahawks one where there was a pick six involved with it. And I don't care what anybody says about it, that's still a factor within that game. And guess what team made the playoffs and the Detroit Lions didn't?
The Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks. Now,
Geno Smith.
When it comes to possibly extending Goff, it's just where's the money at with it with me, you know? And I'd like to
see him
be
taking less money.
Well, I'm talking about $3-4 extra million a year. That's not a whole lot of change.
Truthfully, if it's around that $30 million, and they were expecting the cap space to continue to grow, like as it has historically, I can't deny that I don't hate it.
Okay.
But the other part of it, you look at Goff as a player, though. He's not a playmaker. He's more like a facilitator, you know, in which I feel like that's, I don't want to say easily replaceable because that's just discrediting him and everything he's done. He's obviously in the NFL for a reason. We've seen tons of shit quarterbacks. He's definitely not at the bottom of quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's just not the top to cling on to like it's that or nothing else. Like, I have no issue with ushering in a younger quarterback, having him sit and just see what you got in him. Because, again, historically, that's what you're winning the Super Bowls with. The Detroit Lions do have a different scenario, though, where, you know, they have the extra draft capital around this quarterback, which I don't think you could, you know, point to in too many other scenarios. And if you can, I can't think of any. Mm-hmm. So there is the one point you do have, you know, in terms of, like, for Goff. But there's just no rush to do it. And I don't think that he is this version of Jared Goff without Ben Johnson, if I'm being honest with you. I just don't think that's the case.
Yeah. I guess my worry is, you know, when you got a real good woman that cooks and cleans and
don't smell like onion rings,
she's loyal and everything, but then there's that dime that's, you know, blowing you up a little bit.
Yeah,
and that's Detroit, man. When we got something real good, we want something better. Let's take a look at the playmaking quarterbacks in the league. Top 6 are injured this year, right? Top 6.
Who?
Hurts,
Lamar,
Kyler Murray. I mean, all of these mobile quarterbacks. I believe it's either 5 or 6, but all of the top ones were hurt this year. Now Hurts came back, but looking at that feeling that Detroit always has, like there's something better out there. There just aren't that many of those quarterbacks out there. Mm-hmm. So let's say a scenario, or imagine one where you guys are right, and I think it happens too, but let's say the Lions make the playoffs the next 2 years. And let's say they lose the first round this year, and then the year after they win a game. Maybe they even make the NFC Championship. Now you've got a quarterback that is going to demand at least $30 million a year, at the very least. Mm-hmm. At the very, very least. And what we'd be able to do at this point is kind of jump ahead of that, take a little bit of a risk, and say, hey, we'll give you $25 million, instead of having to re-sign this guy for $33 million at the end of 24 when we're knocking on the door for a Super Bowl. And that's my concern, is I'd rather just avoid all of that controversy about re-signing him and not, him coming in a lame duck season in 2024 where it's like, make or break, you got to win this game or not. Now, on the other side of it, you're talking about drafting quarterbacks. I believe that. But there's still talk right now about using one of these first-round picks on them. I just think that that's crazy talk right now. There's way bigger needs for this team. And you got a guy named Brock Purdy, the last pick in the damn draft, who's leading his team to the NFC Championship, maybe even the Super Bowl. There are plenty of guys. There are these later stories. There are guys that are available later in the draft that can pick up, for 4 games when needed due to injury, and even more so, after a few years, get groomed, like you said, to take over the helm for a competitive, playoff.
But that's one of those reasons not to lock yourself into $30 million a year into a guy, because there are these guys coming out of nowhere. And the other thing too is when you get one of them, you could surround them around one hell of a team. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a 2nd-round pick. He played phenomenal, but look at the 17 Pro Bowlers they have in that roster. 17 Pro Bowlers. Like
this year?
Yes.
That's insanity.
That's what I'm saying. But when you have that guy in a rookie deal, you can afford to trade for an A.J. Brown and pay him. Devontae Smith, that's a draft situation. But Lane Johnson, everyone that gathered on defense, C.J. G.J., Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Robert Quinn, you made a trade for. You brought Ndamukong Suh off. Like, you can afford to do so much more. And again, it's in the salary cap era, it's a team sport more than ever. And when you're paying the most expensive position, the least amount of money you can pay. That's one on a rookie deal. Odds are in your favor. You look at the conference championships this weekend, Anson. How many of those guys are on rookie deals right now?
Right. Well,
3 out of 4 of them.
Let me reclassify this question. I'm talking about re-signing him for $24 million versus what you're talking about. So we're kind of in agreement.
So because your money, yes, but so that's not happening.
$30 to $33 million, that's a very difficult trade.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Jared Goff, let's say we do get a guy in the 3rd round this year and he pans out. Mm-hmm. And we're arguing in 2024 whether we should, give this guy the helm or not, or whether we should, move Goff. If he's locked in at a $24 million contract for 3 years at that point, that's a very desirable quarterback on the trade market. And it's a guy that if we get stuck with the guy underneath him, I don't have that big of an issue with the $24 million quarterback and a rookie deal quarterback, especially if he's a 2nd, 3rd round guy.
It is for me. Obviously, that would be desirable to have a guy performing like that on that kind of deal. But I just don't. He's going to ask for top quarterback money if he continues putting out top quarterback seasons. And we saw what Jared Goff looked like without Ben Johnson, and we think Ben Johnson's time here is limited. Although other people you bring in might be able to continue that same offense, that has a lot to do with it. It's stylistically. Eazy talked about it, about how you could build around a young guy or put a young guy in a situation. You brought up Brock Purdy. Like, Brock Purdy without Kyle Shanahan would not be Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy without an Eagles offensive line and those intense weapons would not be the same. And when you're paying a guy that much, you can't afford the same thing. You look what happened to Aaron Rodgers, who is one of the best quarterback talents of all time. When he takes that much money, the team falls apart. You can't sign a Devontae Adams. You can't sign other guys like that. And you start falling apart and you fall down. You look at what happens with what's about to happen with Buffalo. Josh Allen's getting a $30 million raise next year, and they're not going to be able to afford the same amount of dynamic players. So you have to pray to God that every draft pick you hit on those rookie deals is that impact player immediately. So for me, I think they're building it like San Francisco did. And what San Francisco did when they had a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, who stylistically is very similar to Goff. They are game managers. They take the throws that are given to them. They went up and they traded for a guy that they thought was their guy. Unfortunately, Trey Lance got hurt. We don't know what that situation is going to be. But when you're ready to win, when you're ready to invest, you got to take that shot. And I believe so much in Brad Holmes and his talent evaluation. That's always Stick's argument. Oh, you never hit on those guys. Quarterbacks never work out ever. They're never good quarterbacks in the draft.
It's a bad argument.
And for me, how much I just blindly believe in Brad Holmes and his evaluation of players coming into the draft, I have no doubt in my heart that if he picks someone, they're going to be a good player.
And that's a great take. On the other side of that coin, I've got all these decades of being a Lions fan watching their futility in terms of drafting quarterbacks unless they have the number one pick. And so, again, I really do love his ability to evaluate prospects ready for the pro stage. Brad Holmes, we trust, but the Lions past says that they're not great at when it comes to rookie quarterbacks. So
Brad
for
Holmes
me,
ain't
it's
the
come
Lions
down to,
past.
are you a gambling man?
Yeah.
Do you want to gamble on him being good and having to re-sign him in that $30+ million range? Or are you down to gamble on him at $24 million for the next 4 years? And that's my hot take.
You're just listen. I don't hate. People think I hate Goff. I hate Goff's contract more
You
than
do?
anything.
At $20 million?
His 30 right now. That's the thing. Is it's not going to be anywhere near.
I don't know. I was just looking at it. I saw 20 and 23 and 21 and 24.
No, this year, the past season, 2022 was the fourth highest paid quarterback.
And 24 though.
No, then it's 31 and 31.
Take a look. You got a computer over there.
Yeah, it's for over the cap. His cap hit in 23 is 30.9 and 31.9 in 24.
And that's okay because that's with the bonus.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
That's his cap hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my mistake,
Guaranteed
gentlemen.
salary.
No,
4
you're
years.
good. That's what I'm saying. It's just not real. Like he's not gonna. He's getting if he does get re-signed by Detroit, it's like 35 to 40 million.
Yeah.
It's like the market right now.
Yep.
Especially if he continues to play
At
how
the
he
least,
did last year.
yeah. But I mean, we'll see. We got Lady Jane's, and maybe we continue this one, or maybe we jump into a Pistons one. But tell us about Lady Jane's first.
Lady Jane's, you can have some money to stretch your cap space there, because you can come into Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
6 shots. What up, though? Welcome back to the final stretch of the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy. It's my guy Spin More Racks.
What up,
Yo
though?
Chris, JB Smooth, Anson Wells joining us. Hot takes and hot plates, or Anson's hot take. What was it? What was it?
Hot takes, hot plates, hot take delivery.
King bless us, man.
We're gonna figure it
Come
out
up with
soon.
a name for this one. But what I was gonna say is, because you said something during the break about you're afraid to lose them.
What's that?
You said you were afraid to lose Goff.
I'm afraid of losing Goff. I am. As a lifetime Lions fan, I really like seeing a good quarterback, and I haven't seen a whole lot of that.
Now you saw a good quarterback this year, right?
Yes.
Undoubtedly. The year before?
Second half? He was strong in the second half.
When who got their hands on him in the second half? Ben Johnson.
No, I'm not taking anything away from your boy Ben.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, Byron Leftwich. He was the hottest name on the market last year, and now he's fired.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know what that means, though.
It means that Ben Johnson could be here for 3-4 more years. You never know. If this team goes 8-9 next year, I don't see him as a hot name. One
of the reasons he was a hot name is
because we were 9-8.
Yeah, but with the guy that looked the way he did last year, Ben Johnson's a freaking savant.
He's what, 12-11? Really? Probably more like 12-13 as the offensive coordinator calling the plays.
Yeah, probably. Which is crazy.
Yeah. But, it's what have you done for me super lately in the NFL? And if they come out and they just have a 9-8 ho-hum season, and like you said, we see 12, 13 interceptions out of Goff, and the offense is a top 10, but not, top 4 like it was the last 9-10 games of the season. This could be a guy that isn't the hot name, and he gets some interviews, but he sticks around. My biggest fear is just having to start over with somebody new right in the middle of this young team really taking root. That what we could see out of this team next year, which we all are in unison in thinking this is going to happen, you go into 2024, which would be the final year of Jared Goff's contract, which is going to bring in all kinds of controversy we're going to talk about all season long. Yeah. And now we might be looking at having to replace him, having to hand the reins over to some young, unproven quarterback in the midst of our title window. And I want this guy here for the window. I think he's the guy. Unless we can get real lucky and land a Hurts, which we'll know. We'll know by week 8 if he's screaming in camp and screaming in practice. Mm-hmm. But the likelihood of that is very low. We don't see a lot of that in the NFL. We see, 6 to 8 real exciting quarterbacks at a time through all 32 teams. So for me, this window that we have coming up for the next 4 years of this team truly having a chance to be in the Super Bowl is crazy to talk about. I just think that this is our guy right now. This is a system. Let's not worry about where Ben Johnson's going to be in 24 or 25. Let's just
but I am.
keep this squad together. Yeah, me too.
Because that's why this guy is good. That's why his offense is good. It's because of Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
That's why I think, like me personally, and I've been open about it, so I don't care about saying it now. I just don't want to piss too many people off or hurt too many feelings. But I am drafting one of those quarterbacks this year if they're out there. I 100% am. Just because, in the scenario where I don't have Ben Johnson, I could at least fall on a guy with some mobility to extend plays. Some guy with some talent. Jalen Hurts, again, second-round pick, wasn't the most gifted passer, but he had a repertoire. He could lean on other things. He could scramble when the pocket's closing on him. He could extend the play just by bouncing it out of the pocket or just running on the run and throwing on the run. He has that ability to where, if my schematics isn't there and I lose Ben Johnson, then I have that. Jared Goff, you don't have that. So when you lose Ben Johnson, you're back to that 2021 Jared Goff. He's throwing the ball out of bounds in 4th down plays. I don't want that. I'm sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings. And anybody wants to say, but we have this championship window, we got to fit. Look at the San Francisco 49ers competing for the NFC title this week.
Good point.
Drafted a freaking rookie quarterback. And guess what? After that rookie quarterback, they drafted another rookie quarterback.
They've had 3 quarterbacks under center this year. Yeah. That's a good point.
It's just, there's not an issue with it. I don't think people should have a problem with it, and I also don't have a problem if Sheila Ford wants to give him a fat signing bonus and re-sign him to where his first couple of years are discounted on the actual cap hit, because that would make sense too. But again, personally, I just feel that it's more so Ben Johnson than it is Jared Goff.
So I'm bringing these hot takes and hot plates here, and I'm looking at these 2 hot gentlemen up on the wall or on the TV here with the magnificent facial hair.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
And you guys didn't say anything about me coming through with
you have facial hair?
I'm matching that energy with you guys today, huh?
Yeah. My mustache
took about 3 weeks to grow.
I don't know why they didn't tell me about that picture when I took my mustache is crazy. I would have trimmed it up a little bit. And
you guys are like Samson, but with face.
Honest to God, didn't even know that the picture was happening.
Yeah, I didn't know that thing was happening. I thought they were just...
This is back in it was Wild Wild West and Woodward Sports.
Were you guys together at that time, or did they splice y'all together?
No, they spliced us together.
No, spliced us
together.
Roman.
Shout out Roman.
Matter of fact,
I think my man's wearing an ascot over in the one.
Yeah, it does look like you're wearing an ascot a little bit. But
stop pointing it out.
Eazy's is inverted. That's if you look at his eyes.
Shut the She's not my cousin.
It's a little weird, but that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all joining us on the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. For the man to my left, the one and only Speak Easy, Chris Platty in the TD booth, JB Smooth on the ones and twos, Anson Wells, of course, coming through with the, where was that again?
El Pueblo Mexican Market in Washington Township.
El Pueblo Mexican Market, Washington Township. Fire tacos, fire smooth nuts. I'm Spencer Rance. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.